We want to talk about PCS coding, but review the key to unlock the mystery of PCS coding. When you first learn PCS coding, sometimes people just don't get it, especially if you are a CPC and you're accustomed to coding CPC like procedures. It's a little different transition, so I want to break it down to help you transition from coding procedures like a CPC to coding procedures like a CCS. You all with me? All right, now let's do it. There are 3 keys to understanding PCS coding. Number 1, mastering your 31 root operations of the medical surgical section. I believe that's 50%. Number 2, mastering the routes of administration. And 3, practice, practice, practice. Now, we only have one goal for today, and I think if we meet this goal, that you're going to be on your way. This is it. So the goal for today is to really talk about root operations and really process root operations and study it. And I believe that if you do this and we do this successfully, we'll be on our way to root operations mastery and PCS coding mastery. All right, so in class, and also if you've done your homework, you have reviewed all 31 root operations, and some of you have reviewed the definitions. All right, so go ahead, type in the chat. Let me know, have you studied these root operations? That's one question, yes or no. And number 2, have you learned any of the definitions? So that's your second. So yes and no, yes and yes, no and no. I want to know. Okay, good job, Stephanie. Good job. Someone said they're through. Awesome. Someone's working and learning. Well, if I didn't tell you, I'm telling you now, you don't have to memorize all of these, and I'm going to show you why. But you should master and memorize some of them, okay? All right, so what I want to do, I want to know what you know. So we have this platform that we use, it's called Quizzes, and it's a quiz, and it's fun. I love it. And I'm going to ask Miss Tracy, Miss Rochelle to engage us in a game of quizzes. So let's see what you know and what I need to do to get you on the path to mastery of these root operations. All right, team, take it away.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. J. And coders, are you ready to do quizzes with myself and Miss Tracy? I wonder where's Miss Tracy.
I'm here. All right, I'm just kind of taking a peek in the chat. Let's see if everyone's ready.
I think they are. They are. Okay, so would you like to tell them, Miss Tracy, what the game is about? It's probably new to them for this one. Did you think?
Yeah, so we're going to start. I think we have 10 questions, and we just want you guys to tell us what the root operation is.
Yeah, that's simple. Perfect. All right, you all up for it? You're ready? Okay, let's do it. I'm going to get started, Miss Tracy. Awesome.
All right, everyone. So we want everyone participating here. Type your answers in the chat. What is the root operation, the third character, for the following procedure? Percutaneous, needle core biopsy, of the right kidney? Is it drainage, 9, drainage, T, resection, B, excision, or P, removal?
Okay, sounds like different answers here coming through right now. But I'm gonna wait a couple seconds, Miss Tracy.
Sounds good.
Okay. A lot of you are saying excision, drainage. So should we go ahead and, a lot of you are
And
saying
split
split, huh? That's why it's hard to decide. So,
between 9 or B. So, someone says, I actually think it's resection.
Interesting. Okay, why don't we go ahead and go with B, excision?
Okay,
Let's try that. Okay, and let's see. I'll submit.
All right, yay, and that was it. So it is an excision, and remember, Mrs. J is going to go over this, but the objective of excision is to partially remove, and I know that definition went away, so sorry about that. Sometimes it doesn't stay on the screen for too long. Okay, so the next one is, what is the root operation for the following procedure? Liver transplantation. Is it S, reposition, X, transfer, Y, transplantation, or D, extraction?
Okay, I think everybody's on board on this one for Y.
Unanimous on this one, yes.
Okay, let's do it. Ta-da! Great job.
And it is indeed Y. It's transplantation. Great job, coders.
Oh, I was trying to pause it so we can
Oh, it does
read it.
pause.
Okay, it does. Okay, I tried it.
I was wondering if
Awesome.
it would stay on the screen a little bit longer.
We figured it out. Okay, moving on to the next one.
All right, so the next one is, what is the root operation for the following procedure? A closure of abdominal stab wound, right tendon. Is it W, revision, Q, repair, M, reattachment, or P, removal? Closure of an abdominal stab wound.
Okay, go for it, coders. Remember the objective. Okay, Leah, Patricia, y'all are in for, you have the same answers. Fatima, Heather, Miss Archana Howard. Okay, I think they're saying Q for repair, Miss Tracy.
Yes.
So
I
let's
see
go for it.
Reading in the chat.
Awesome. And indeed, that's correct.
Great job, everyone. So the objective, can we go, are we able to go back or
here.
no? Okay, here we go. So the objective of repair is restoring to the extent possible. Oh, it goes by too fast.
It goes by too fast.
Okay, sorry about that, coders. But you will be studying these more in depth. So the next one is, what is the root operation for the following procedure? Radiocarpal fusion procedure. Is it W, revision, Q, repair, M, reattachment, or G, fusion?
Awesome. Leah went for it first. Fatima, Heather, Reagan. We have Sandep said G, Miss Tracy. A lot of them actually now. It's looking like everybody agrees on that too. Stephanie, Miss Trupti. All right, let's go for it. G for fusion. And good feeling on this one. And they're rocking it, Miss Tracy. Woohoo!
Excellent job. Excellent job. So
All
joining
right.
together of articular body parts. That goes by way too fast.
Sorry, Miss Tracy. I
It's
wish I
okay.
could
It's
stop
not your
trying to
fault.
stop the screen.
It's just the game. So, all right, coders, here's our next one. What is the root operation for the following procedure? Open installation of cochlear implant. Is it 0, alteration, or O, alteration, sorry, H, insertion, K, map, or U, supplement?
This is a good one. All right. I'm seeing a little bit of a split between H and U. Janelle goes with H would be insertion. All right. Angela too. But Pam says U Miss Sarmi says you, Dawn, you. So I am actually going to go ahead with, a lot of you are saying you. Let's try you, Miss Tracy. What do you think?
All right, let's try it.
Let's do it. Okay, and that would be wrong. The answer would be insertion coders.
All right, so that is insertion, putting in a non-biological appliance that monitors, assists, performs. Okay, sorry.
Oh, I think we'll review that another
Yes,
time.
we will review these. Sorry. Sorry, coders. I didn't realize it went by that quickly. Okay, the next one, here we go, is what is the root operation for the following procedure? Laparoscopy with needle aspiration of ova for in vitro fertilization. Is it 9, drainage, Y, transplantation, N, release, or D, extraction?
Okay, we also have a mix here.
Objective here.
Gotta think about the objective coders. All right, a lot of them are saying extraction, but some are saying drainage. So I'm gonna go with, a lot of you are saying D, so let's go ahead and do that. But like I said, it's a split, and let's submit.
Yes, and it is extraction, putting or stripping out off all or a portion of a body part by the use of force. Okay, and that was extracting that ova. Okay, great job, coders.
Awesome.
All right, here's our next one. What is the root operation for the following procedure? Removal of external fixator from a bone fracture. Is it 5, destruction, X, transfer, 2, change, or P, removal?
Okay. Let's see what we got here. All right, this one here, it looks like everybody is going for removal. And I'm liking that, Miss Tracy. So let's go for it. Ta-da!
And it is indeed removal. Great job, coders. Taking out or off a device from a body part.
Fantastic. All right, moving on.
All right, what is the root operation for the following procedure? Phrenotomy for treatment of tongue-tie syndrome. B, excision, N, release, T, resection, or 8, division.
Oh, this is another good one. Fatima already had an answer. Janet. All right, Miss Patricia, Reagan, Miss Dawn. A lot of you are saying N for release, but I'm also seeing 8 coming through for division. So this is going to be interesting. But majority, Miss Tracy, is going to be release. So I'm going to go for it for release N. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And that is correct, coders. Great job. Freeing a body part from an abnormal physical constraint by cutting or by use of force. So with that phrenotomy, you are cutting to release the tongue. All right, great job. We have a couple more. So what is the root operation for the following procedure? And I should be reading let me read the answers first. I'm so sorry. C, extirpation, L, occlusion, P, removal, or 1, bypass. Okay, what is the root operation for the following procedure? Endarterectomy of the common carotid.
Okay, this one is another mix. All right, I like it. Miss Archana, great job. Miss Dawn, Janet, Miss Angela. Okay, remember the objective of the procedure. Okay, I'm seeing occlusion coming through, some saying bypass, but a lot of you are saying extirpation. So I guess I'm going to go with extirpation and we'll see from there. Ta-da! And that is correct.
Great job. Taking or cutting out solid matter from a body part. That was a good one. Okay, coders, last one. What is the root operation for, sorry. I always forget to read the answers. 5, destruction, P, removal, N, release, T, resection. What is the root operation for the following procedure? Cryotherapy of a wart in the right hand.
Okay, I think we're finishing up strong on this one. A lot of them are bleating an answer, and they are all saying 5 for distraction.
Finishing strong.
Finishing strong, Miss Tracy. Good job, coders.
All right, and that is correct. Destruction, physical eradication of all or a portion of a body part by the direct use of energy, force, or destructive agent. Great job, coders.
Yay, we have
Great
one
job.
redemption question. We can do this one again, I think.
Okay, so our answers are O, alteration, K, map, H, insertion, U, supplements. What is the root operation for the following procedure? Open installation of cochlear implants.
All right. This time everybody gets it. Fantastic, coders. Guess we're going for insertion. You remembered. Yay! Great start of the morning.
Excellent job on that. And now we're going to hand it back over to Mrs. J because she's going to dive deeper into each one of these root operations. So Mrs. J, take it away.
Yes, you all did a fabulous job, and thank you. Now, I'm not going to dive deep into all of them, just a few, and hopefully we can get you on the way to thinking a little differently, thinking like a CCS coder and how a CCS coder processes PCS codes root operations. Now, I saw some of your answers in the chat. Some of you kind of knew what you were doing, and some of you I are familiar, and you should know what you're doing. And those that are newer probably had a little difficulty. How did you do? How do you feel, coders? Just go ahead. Overall, I want to know how you feel. And hopefully, I can help you out a little bit today. All right, so people are saying, okay, good. Some people say, I need to study a little more and still learning, a little shaky. It's okay. Hopefully, after class, you can, this will put you in the right direction of how to process and study. All right, so we have a procedure. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the root operation, and then we're going to review very quickly how to look up a code. But the procedure is plastic repair of left upper eyelid. My question to you, what is the root operation? Someone said they can't hear me. Can you hear me? Here are the root operations. What is the root operation? Okay, thank you. Someone can hear me. Yes. So, team, can you reach out to the person that can't hear and maybe help them troubleshoot? Awesome, awesome. Okay, so overwhelming. Let me see what the majority of you are saying. I would say the majority of you are saying repair. And if you were coding for CPC or procedures or procedure or pro-fee coder, yes, you would code a repair. However, we are crossing the line. Now let's look at the definition of a repair for PCS coding. The definition is restoring to the extent possible a body part to its normal anatomic structure and function. Coders, this is the objective of the repair root operation. And my question to you, is the objective of a plastic repair of a left upper eyelid to restore to the extent possible a body part to its normal anatomic structure and function? It could be, but not always. But there's something better. Someone said, yeah. But think about it. If you're restoring, let's say you have droopy eyelids, and let's say your eyelids were like that all the time. Are you restoring it to the extent possible? Someone said, yes, if you have trauma. Yes, so it could be in some circumstances, but coders, in all circumstances, it has to meet this definition. So let me tell you, this alteration is a better definition, and here's why. Let's look at it. Definition of alteration is modifying the natural anatomic structure of a body part without affecting the function of the body part. That is much better than repair, because repair is restoring. It's implying that it was a certain way before. It was good before. Let's say tummy tuck. You can't, this alteration meets better, and repair does not work because it's restoring to the extent possible a body part to its normal anatomic structure and function. Key word, and function. Plastic repair is plastic, so it does not have anything to do with the functioning of an eye or the functioning of an eyelid. So alteration is the best and satisfies the definition and the objective of this procedure. So I'm going to sit back and I'm going to put this up, this yellow bar, and this yellow bar says that your root operations objective must exactly do what that definition says. Exactly. And sorry about my how do you feel? All right. So now that I gave you a chance to process, and hopefully you agree that this is an alteration procedure, and most plastic surgeries are, okay? Let's look it up. Our root operation is alteration. Step 1, to look up a code, we're going to locate our main term in the index to procedures. Our main term, alteration. Alteration. Then we're going to scroll down, look for eyelid. Which eyelid? Upper eyelid, left. Now, step 2, we find the corresponding table of 080, the first 3 characters. And let's keep in mind that our procedure is plastic repair. And I want to just point to this. It's right here down below. Hopefully you can see it. All right, so we're going to find the corresponding table of 080. Here it is, 080. Medical and surgical, eye, alteration, the first 3 characters. And keep in mind, coders, this blue definition here, this definition is your definition. So you can always check and make sure that you have selected the correct table. And if you didn't know, the definition and the objective of the procedure are synonymous. They are the same. So let's read the definition of plastic repair of left upper eyelid. I struggle with this little red thing. Sorry about that. Can you all see my little pointer? Okay. So Definition is modifying the anatomical structure of a body part without affecting the function of the body part. And the principle, here's this little explanation down here. The principal purpose is to improve the appearance. That is indeed what plastic repair of an eyelid is, to improve the appearance. So we know this is the correct table, 080. Our fourth character is provided, and it's P, and if we look, it is correct upper eyelid. Now, what do we do from here? Third step, we continue building the code based upon the documentation and guidelines. And based upon these documentation, it's not a whole lot, our code, or excuse me, our fifth character approach will be external. Our documentation will have to state that it's either open or percutaneous, and the default of an eyelid procedure will be external. The next character will be for our device. There's no indication that a device was left in or on a body part, so therefore, no device. And finally, the only seventh character value that we have is Z. So we will use it in our code for plastic repair of left upper eyelid is 080PXZZ. Okay, coders, are you with me? Just want to make sure you're with me. All right, so now we're going to move and turn our attention to mastering the 31 definitions and objectives. And no, we're not going to master all of them because we'll be here all day. But I think if we learn how to process, then you can apply it on your own. Now, this is how to study. This is how we're going to study how to select root operations, right? We have 3 steps. Step 1, when you have a procedure, you have to select one root from the 31 choices. So if we have a medical surgical procedure, we have to select one root from the 31 choices. Then the second thing that we have to do, we have to process or think about the full extent of the procedure. In other words, we have to think about what is the objective of the procedure. Then third, your procedure must match the full definition of the root operation that you select. And if it does, you have the correct root operation. All right? I got an example. What is the root type of a tubal ligation via cauterization procedure? Okay, so let me put up my 31 root operations. So I'm asking you, coders, what is the root operation of a tubal ligation via cauterization procedure? Go ahead, type the answer in the chat, and I'm going to give you a moment so you can think about it. All right, so I'll wait for a few more. We have some really good all right, and we will never call out your name, so go ahead, give it your best shot, and we're learning, remember, okay? Good, good, good. All right, so we have some various So what we're going to do is, we've already selected from the 31 choices. So whatever your selection is. So the next thing that we have to do is think about the full extent of the procedure. So tubal ligation via cauterization is here. Cauterization uses electrical current to heat and seal each tube. The seal ends of the tube may then be cut, but this is what happened. A patient had a tubal ligation via cauterization, so we have to think about the objective of this procedure. So this is it. Here are our root operations. These are the following, and I saw some more too, but these are some of the ones that I've seen. I've seen destruction, fusion, occlusion, restriction. I've seen bypass. I think that's it. Let's see. Division. I see. Okay, so that's pretty much what I've seen. But these are the 4 that we're going to study. So these are the 4 that are in the running, and we're going to study them according to their objective. So let's look at destruction. Destruction says this is the physical eradication of all or a portion of a body part by the direct use of energy, force, or a destructive agent. Coders, tell me, does this procedure meet the procedure is tubal ligation via cauterization? Does destruction meet the full definition of tubal ligation via cauterization? All right, so your answers are coming through. I see some yeses and some nos. Okay, so let me put it this way. What is the objective of a tubal ligation? Is the objective of a tubal ligation to physically eradicate that body part? No. The objective is, right? We don't want to have this patient doesn't want to have any more children, and the doctor wants to make sure that that tube does not permit, that tube is closed off, right? Yes, the objective is to block that tube. You said it. All right, now let's go back and let's look at fusion. What about fusion? This is joining together portions of an articular body part, rendering the articular body part immobile. No, because articular, those are joints. There's no joint here. So we're going to move on. And remember that. Fusion deals with joints. B, occlusion, completely closing an orifice or the lumen of a tubular body part. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so people are feeling that occlusion. What about restriction? This is partially closing an orifice or the lumen of a tubular body part. Huh. Well, for me, occlusion and restriction probably says it better because your tube is a lumen and it is a tubular body part. And what is the doctor trying to do? Is he trying to completely close it, or is he trying to partially close it so that that sperm can get in? Completely close it. The doctor's objective is to completely close that tube, right? So if that is the case, our objective is occlusion. And the moral of the story, always ask yourself, what is the objective of the procedure? So if you, well, some of you knew that it was occlusion, and I'm going to give it to you outstanding because you were with us before. Some of you knew it because you studied, and some of you, you know what, learned something, and that is priceless. It's outstanding that you knew it, and it's priceless if you learned something. All right, so now it's your turn. It's your turn. Let's do it again. We're going to have this exercise. It's surgeon to the coder. The surgeon will perform the surgery. The coder will document the root operation. You'll need to use your Appendix B or use your Appendix C, but your primary goal is to determine the objective or the root of the procedure. Okay? You all with me? Everybody good? All right, so let's do this one together. And I think you all know this because we had this, but this could be a good explanation for quizzes. Repair of open wound. The physician carried out a repair of the open wound, gave the coder the documentation, and the coder returned the following. What is the objective of the procedure? Go ahead and type in the chat. And remember, coders, in order to choose the correct route, you select one of the 31 choices, think about the full extent of the procedure, and to check it, your procedure must match the full definition of that root operation that you select. Indeed, 100% of you have said repair, value Q, repair. And the definition is restoring to the extent possible a body part to its normal anatomic structure and function. Absolutely. Absolutely. Does anybody dispute that? If not, let's go on. We have another procedure. Thrombectomy of the epicardial artery. The physician carried this out. Mechanical thrombectomy. Now, if you don't know the procedure, here it is. It's a clot that's broken up into small pieces and removed. And the coder assigned the following root operation, and think about what is the objective of the procedure. Woo! Good job. You guys are doing it. And think about it. Think about that objective. Process the objective. We have tons of different responses, but this is the answer. C, extirpation, taking or cutting out solid matter from a body part, okay? Taking or cutting out solid matter from a body part. And you have to think, did the doctor take out or cut out solid matter from a body part? These arteries, this that you're looking at is plaque. It is. Plaque is not a body part. It's solid matter. So if you can say yes, then your answer is yes. Okay, so think about like some of the things that I said. I said plaque is not your body part, right? Yeah. So there you go. A clot is not your body part. All right, ready for another one? Lumpectomy of the breast. The physician carried out the lumpectomy of the breast, gave the procedure to the coder, and the coder said, well, answered the question, what is the objective of the procedure? Okay, we have several responses coming through. All right, good job, everyone. Good job. All right, here we go. The answer is B, excision. Oh, we're going to go back. Excision. And the definition is cutting out or off without replacement a portion of a body part. And let me tell you, this is not resection because you would have to be removing the entire breast, the entire body part. Also, this is not extirpation because are they not removing some skin too? That's body parts. So that's why you have to think about it. Let me see what else we said here. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so are you all with me? Well, yeah, you have to, someone says, so they're moving the skin, yet you have to remove the skin to get to that tissue. Yeah, and someone said, yeah, like you have to remove the margins of the skin. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you're cutting out or off without replacement a portion of that body part. All right, so good. So let it marinate and let's move on to episiotomy. The physician carried out an episiotomy, gave the procedure to the coder, the inpatient coder. And what is the objective of this procedure? Go ahead, look at your definitions, then process if what you select meets the full letter of the definition. Does your root operation meet the full letter of the definition? You all are nailing this. Great job, everybody. All right, so we see quite a few different response. I see division, I see extraction, I see, what else do I see? Let's see. Okay, so division and extraction are the most common that I see. Oh, I see dilation. All right, so what is the objective of this procedure? What is the objection of the episiotomy? That's it. Yes, the objective is division, and the definition is cutting into a body part without draining fluids and or gases from the body part in order to separate or transect a body part. Now, coders, did this, I hate that. Did the surgeon cut into the body part without draining fluids and gases? And draining, according to the definition of draining, if the answer is yes, then division is the correct body part. All right. You're doing very, very well. Someone said they don't have their book. You are rocking it. Good job. All right. The answer is division. Next, we're almost done. Knee replacement surgery. The physician carried out knee replacement surgery, gave his documentation to the coder, the inpatient coder to bill for the facility, and this is what a knee replacement procedure looks like. Your job. What is the objective of a knee replacement procedure? You guys are knocking this out, Look at all of your possible routes and see if the definition fully and completely is met. All right, so the answer, it's replacement, because the definition of replacement is putting in or on a synthetic material that physically takes the place and or function of all or a portion of a body part. Coders, just by visualizing this picture, I believe the objective is met. A synthetic material was placed into this person's joint, and it is taking the place of all or function of that joint, because the joint obviously can't do it anymore. So the correct answer is replacement. All right, I believe this is the last one. All right, so we have a left ovary and fallopian tube removal. Your surgeon carried this out, gave the procedure to the coder, and it's your job, coders, to determine what is the objective. Okay, so I see multiple response, and I'm saying this. What is the objective of removing an ovary and a fallopian tube? And if you said resection, outstanding, because the objective is to cut out that body part without replacing it, right? Yes, but I know that some of you may not understand what a body part is when, according to PCS. So let's address that right now. You know what? I do want to address body parts, but I also want to say this really quickly. When you're carrying out a hysterectomy, no. I want to talk about this later. I'll come back to this. Let's talk about how to know the difference between a body part. How do you know when it's a separate body part? Well, you know it's a separate body part when there is a separate PCS value for the body part, okay? So, for instance, let's take the female reproductive system. If there is a separate body part value in character 4 space, then it is a separate body part, okay? So ovary, the left ovary, is an entirely separate body part than the right ovary. And the fallopian tubes has their own body part value, number 6. The left one is number 6. The right one is 5. The uterine supporting structure is 4. The cervix body part value is C. The cul-de-sac is F, and the vagina is G. So all of these have different, and the uterus too, don't forget about that, have their own body part value, and the female reproductive system comprises multiple body parts. Now, I want to make sure that I made that clear. Someone says, so PCS doesn't have bilateral codes. It can. It can if there's a value for it. All right. So I saw someone in here say, hey, what's the difference between excision and resection? All right, I don't have that I don't have it up here, the difference, but let me just tell you the difference. If you put them side by side, a resection is cutting out or off replacement, keyword, all of the body part. Excision is a portion of the body part, okay? So a portion could be just a snippet. That's a portion, right? So resection is cutting out without replacing all, and excision is a portion. Now, before we move on, I want to talk about a hysterectomy. Someone said last class, they talked about a partial hysterectomy. A partial hysterectomy, go ahead, type in the chat. What is a partial hysterectomy? Coders, what is a partial hysterectomy? Someone said excision. Now, I just went over all those body part values, right? So you got to know that's got to be a resection. But I was really asking, what is it? What's the objective of a partial hysterectomy? Guess what? There's no such thing as a partial hysterectomy. There isn't. No. A hysterectomy is removal of the uterus and cervix or cervix, right? People say that removal of a uterus and or cervix, but you leave the ovaries, that's a partial hysterectomy. That's not true. And even doctors say it sometimes, but it's not true. A total hysterectomy is removal of the uterus and or cervix. That is a total hysterectomy. A total hysterectomy with removal of the ovaries and fallopian tubes is a total hysterectomy with removal of ovaries and fallopian tubes is a total hysterectomy with oophorectomy. Now we know that, right? So there's no such thing as a partial hysterectomy. And remember, when you're coding for hysterectomies, code each of the body parts separately. So if they just remove the ovary, that is a complete resection of the ovary. And the ovary is its own body part. Fallopian tube, complete resection of that fallopian tube. The fallopian tube is its own body part. Now, what do you do when a procedure has multiple roots? Sorry about that missing S. What do you think you do, coders? That's another thing that you're going to encounter. Someone said code both, so there's no combination code. This is what you do. That's right, Geetha, you're on the path Someone said code based on payment. This is what you do. Assign the root with the most definitive objective. So when you're saying definitive, the root that carries out that objective. Okay, here's an example. It's not really that serious, but this is just something that I wanted you to have so that you know how to process this. All right, so what is the root type of a DNC? A DNC is a dilation and curettage, right? DNC is dilation and curettage. So if anyone want to take a stab at it, that's right, Patricia. Some people are getting it. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. All right, so let's process this together. All right, so we have to select we have to select one of the 31 choices. Just one, because this is one procedure, right? So we have to think about the full extent of the procedure. Now, first, the cervix is dilated. Second, the tissue is scraped out with a curette. So of these two procedures, which is the most definitive? The dilation, as you see over here on the right, the doctor used a speculum to dilate the cervix. Then the doctor used a saucer-like tool to remove the tissue from the cervix. Someone said the second one, absolutely the second one. So let's focus on that second one, okay? That's right, Reagan. Aha! Outstanding. So we focus, if we're coding for dilation and curettage, the most definitive of the two could be extirpation, extraction, removal. What say you, coders? What say you? Okay, let me define them. Extirpation is taking or cutting out solid matter from a body part. The solid matter contained in the definition may be an abnormal byproduct of a biological function or a foreign body. Okay, so we're taking or cutting out solid matter from a body part. Did that happen, coders? We're extracting tissue. Is tissue solid matter? Think about it. No, it isn't. It's not solid. No, tissue? No, it's not solid. Extraction. Extraction is pulling or stripping out all or a portion of a body part by the use of force. Did this happen? Yes or no? They didn't say how much force, right? Force doesn't have to be heavy. It could be light force. Here we go. C, removal. Removal is taking out or off a device from a body part. What device? The speculum? No. So of these three coders, what say you? Outstanding. The answer is B, extraction. You always have to think, what is the objective of the procedure? And that is the moral of this story. Always think when you're coding PCS for the facility, you have to think about what is the objective of the procedure. Do not slip on your Appendix C. Appendix C, they categorize your root operations according to their objectives. So this is kind of what it looks like. procedures that take out some or all of a body part, look at this: destruction, detachment, excision, extraction, resection. A lot of people confuse the two. Now you can look at them together and look at the difference. All right?
Thank you for watching an AMCI exclusive presentation in partnership with AAPC. Until next time.